America told us that there was an American dream that said 4 years in college, retire at 65, pay down the debt, own a home. America told us that was the blueprint. What happens when that blueprint turns out to be a nightmare? What happens in that moment? When the husband and the wife who's come together and said, this is the blueprint that we had. I'm the first homeowner of my family. I'm the first person that went to college in my family. What happens when we look at each other and say, babe, I don't know what the hell to do. Honey, I don't know what the hell to do because the American blueprint has failed me.
Back in the 1960s, CEOs made, on average, 20 times more than their workers. Seems like a lot, but over the following 6 decades, something peculiar happened. CEO pay exploded to over 300 times more than what frontline employees earned, with some executives making 1,000 times more. Meanwhile, for most US workers, real wages have barely budged when we account for inflation, despite worker productivity vastly improving. So is it any wonder that workers are quiet quitting, when the only reward for hard work is watching CEOs get insanely rich while you can barely afford groceries? What's the point? This is why quiet quitting makes sense. And from what I can tell, it's not going to get better until companies realize they've put profits over people too long and taken it too far.
That you've been sold is one of the biggest lies of all time. Let me explain. For our entire lives, we've been told to work a job, save money, invest it into a retirement account, and in 45 years, you're gonna become a millionaire. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not the path that any millionaire I've ever met in my life has taken. Not only is it incredibly slow, but by the time you do have that $1 million, $1 million ain't gonna be worth shit with inflation. Every single millionaire that I've ever met did not get there by saving a couple bucks at Starbucks, investing it into a Roth IRA, and then retiring 40 years later.
Do you believe in American dream?
No, yeah, I think it's a dream. I definitely do. I think that there was once a time where it was much more attainable than it is now. And maybe things like the student loan forgiveness and like other things they'll do in the future could maybe get us back to that. I think that we'd all be better off if we could just accept that it's made up trade-off that like America was giving us isn't happening anymore. So I feel like we have reached the tip of capitalism. Like I don't know how much more we can do of everyone being so individualistic, everyone being like, I just want for myself and I want for my family, I'm not thinking about the person next to me. I think it happened because my blender broke this week. You know, I thought to myself, oh, in my grandma's time, there would have been a man that I could have called and been like, come fix this blender. But now he's an entrepreneur, so like the price of him to come fix my blender is the cost of my blender. So Jeff Bezos wins again, and I'm gonna buy a new blender.
How much did you pay for your first house?
$18,000 with 17 acres.
What year?
1989. When I was a kid, cars were thousands of dollars. A brand new car, like, I don't know, $5,000. I remember seeing ads. Houses were probably, what, $10,000, $20,000 when I was a kid. A dollar used to actually be worth something. But what happened? You know what happened in 1913? Federal Reserve.
Hell yeah, brother.
$1 bill. Federal Reserve.
This guy knows what he's talking about.
Okay? Who's the Federal Reserve? This is their money, right? Who are they? Are they feds? Are they part of the government?
Nope.
Are they a private organization? Are they run by banksters out of Europe? Look back in 1913. See what happened.
I'm looking to it. We got to
Look at
save.
the money. Look up Federal Reserve. It's on your dollar bill. What does it mean? Who is it? Who started it? Are they?
Dude, this guy's spitting facts. I like it.
Or are they something else?
From a young age, we were told that you need to study hard to get good grades. You need to get good grades that you can pass the class. You need to pass the class to go on to the next level. From there, we're told to go to college so that you can earn that degree. And then from there, you get a good job. And that good job gives you a good life. And to be honest, after doing that 16-year path, the American dream is a lie. And so in this video, I'm not talking about the chance of learning a higher education, because education is a powerful tool. What I'm referring to is the propaganda of this American dream. If you go to school and you get these good grades and you go to college, you get your degree, and you'll be able to get that job that you want that'll lead to a great life. That if you do these things, this will work out in your favor. My wife and I were talking recently about how as we grew up, that was the billboard. The American dream, it's not the key to success. It's not the door to all your greatest adventures and dreams. The American dream might have worked for many, many people, because I feel like the American dream is more of a goal for the generation of my parents. My wife said this, and she is so wise. She said, we did the things that we were told to do, the things that we were supposed to do. We're told that if we go get an education, we're told that if we stick to the books and we go to college, that everything will work out. We're told to trust people. We're told that the people who are in the higher up are for you. We're told that the food industry is serving you its best interest. We're told in the faith area that the people who are talking about the Bible, every word is true, that they're saying that we should just take everything that we hear in the world and accept it as truth. And it's just not. In America, it's the 16-year path, 12 years in school, give or take 4+ years going to college or trade school. And it hurts, you know? Like, I'm 29 years old, my wife is 28, and you look around, the people, the industries, the messages, it's supposed to be black and white. This is good and this is evil, but we live in a world that is gray. It takes a lot to try and discern through what is good, what is evil, what is worth it, what is not, what is the wisest path I should take with my life, and what isn't. Should I go spend 16 years for a maybe, or is there a different path? Should I believe every word that someone tells me, or should I hear them and then take each thought into account and study them and see if it is true or not? The food that we're putting into our bodies, should we just take it as it is? All food is good, especially if it has a label that says it is. The messages that we hear on TV, social media about faith, are we to just accept it because the person is speaking about what we believe in, so it must be true?
It's like, bro, once you really sit down and think about it, everything in this motherfucker is designed for motherfuckers to fail. Like, I'm sitting here waiting to get my truck loaded so I can start my fucking day, you know, for the company that barely pays me enough to, you know, keep my life together slightly. And I can't just abruptly leave this motherfucker, because where else am I gonna get the money from? Like, I truly believe that I'm talented enough to, you know, make something happen and make something shake in like maybe 6 months to a year from now. However, where is that initial funding gonna come from? See what I'm saying? Food is bad for you. It's highly chemicalized, highly addictive, highly sugarized, and highly everything bad for you arised. And if you look up any health article, it tells you that you can't eat any of the shit that you eat on a daily fucking basis. But 9 times out of 10, that's either all you can afford or that's all that's available. Hospital bills is a fucking scam. Insurance is a fucking scam. Rent is a scam. Mortgages are scams. Just living in general is a fucking scam. The majority of ways to make enough money really fast are very unethical and highly illegal. Yet the people who call it illegal are the ones who do it the fucking most. That's the craziest fucking part. You gotta hope your car doesn't fucking break down, because if it does, a mechanic's gonna hold the shit for months because he or she is backed up forever. And it's like, okay, you got my car. How the fuck am I supposed to get to and from? They tell you to save and invest and all this shit, but it's like you taking that investment as a risk. Now, you can't win life without taking a risk. However, if the shit don't work out, you're fucked. A lot of people stay up late as a bitch knowing they got to be to work tomorrow early as hell in the morning, only because their job took away the majority of their day, and the only way for them to feel some type of control over their life is to stay up past the point in which they know they need to go to sleep to get a productive day the next day. I can't remember exactly what that phrase is called, but it's a real thing. And then on top of that same subject, most people who do that, they stay up late because they don't want to go to work the next fucking day. This shit is a fucking scam, bro. And after all of this bullshit, you still got to get up and produce something. Whether you man or woman, you still have to get up and produce something. Because if you do nothing, you're pretty much just going to be on the street. And it's like, knowing all that shit, bro, sometimes that shit gets to you, man. Sometimes it gets to you, but I can tell you this. Even though all of this bullshit is a real thing, and yeah, it does get to me too, I refuse to let this shit bring me down. I refuse because I know deep inside my fucking head, and it's more so on the forefront now. It used to be deep, but now it's like right up in here. I know for a fact that one of these days, none of this shit is going to matter, because I'm going to be in such a great position in my life that I'm going to be able to look back and be like, damn, I went through all this bullshit and struggle that the world just threw at me, and I came out on top. That may sound cartoonish, that may sound far-fetched, that may sound all kind of whatever the fuck you can think of. However, that's the only thing that keeps me fucking going. That is the only driving force in my life right now. It's not to be the best, it's not to be the greatest, it's not to be this, that. It is to get to the top of the fucking mountain through my own efforts and then show people that it's possible. Right? That's the only thing that's keeping me going right now. You gotta find something to keep you going in this fucking crazy ass world we live in, bro. You gotta find something.